So I'm Rhianna and I'm from Cardiff University, and this is Guerilla Archaeology. And we are talking to people today about the Neolithic and about food in the Neolithic and kind of common misconceptions about when foods were introduced to Britain. So some of the interesting things that we've kind of found is that a lot of people get confused about things like chickens and about rabbits and whether or not they were native to Britain. So during the Neolithic we don't have any chickens or rabbits. The chickens are introduced during the Iron Age, and the rabbits are introduced by the Romans. And we also have a lot of kind of vegetables and plant foods that are introduced much later on as well. So things like tomatoes don't come until the medieval period. But we do have, during the Neolithic, the introduction of cereal crops and more domesticated species. So we're looking at, in terms of meat, we get the introduction of pigs, cattle and sheep. And then we have oats, wheat and barley start to become more and more important as you go through the Neolithic and on into the later prehistoric periods. So it's been really interesting to talk to people about what they think about food in the past, and how maybe they would create their own feasts if they were given the ingredients that were available.
Tell us about the bones here.
So these are some remains from a site called Durrington Walls, which is near Stonehenge, and on the right you've got pig jawbones, and these are going up in age as you go down the trait. We also have some cattle bones as well, and the interesting thing about Durrington Walls and how the animals were treated was that the pigs were all generally cooked over a fire in big kind of roasting pits. And you can see here, this is a pig astragalus, which is ankle bone, and it's charred, and it's the only part of the pig that would be charred. The rest of the pig was would have been fleshed and then the meat cooked, but this is the bit that would have been exposed to the fire. With the cattle bones, you see that they're much more, that they're all cut up into much smaller pieces, got lots of butchery marks, and these, a lot of the cattle were used in sort of beef stews, and they were cooked in pots, and we know this from looking at the lipid analysis. So we can see the residues that are left in the pots, and that tells us what kind of things were cooked in them. So we know that we have cattle definitely being cooked in pots. Don't see so much pig, but the pigs are definitely being roasted over open fires.